Welcome to Make Up Your Mind. I'm Amberp, makeup artist and IFBB Bikini Pro. I wanted to create a safe space for women to have deep conversations about life and mindset. So come hang out with me while I get ready for the day and chat about whatever is on my mind. What is up, you guys, and welcome to another episode of Make Up Your Mind. I'm Amberp, makeup artist, IFBB Bikini Pro, and Mindset Mama. That's what I'm going to start calling myself, because I call myself the NPC IFBB Fairy Glam Mama, but Mindset Mama. On today's episode, well, if you're new here, Make Up Your Mind is a series I started on my YouTube channel last year where I sit down, get ready, doing my makeup, and talk about what's ever on my mind. And as you can see, I am clearly not putting makeup on right now, but that's okay because y'all get the gist. Alright, you guys, and since I'm not doing my makeup in this episode, I did want to show a couple of favorites of products that I'm into right now. Anytime we do an episode and I'm not actively doing my makeup, I'll make sure to insert some form of makeup I'm into, beauty tip, whatever the case may be. However, right now, this is my current favorite palette. This is the Juvias Place to Coffee Shop. Look how beautiful this is. This is so stunning. It's the ultimate neutral palette. Reason why I like Juvias Place is because their products work on all skin tones, which is something that is very important to me. I have an extremely diverse clientele, so therefore when I'm picking products for my professional kit to work on for work, I need something that's going to work on all skin tones across the board. Inclusivity is such a huge deal for me, especially when it comes to my kit. So love this, so pigmented and affordable. And then their coffee shop lip glosses that go along with it. This one is in the shade Macao and it smells so good. So these two are a must. Check them out if you haven't already. For some reason, God has been prompting me whenever I get these aha moments to just go ahead and share it. So it's interesting because it forces me to just, first of all, be still, because I can't hear God if I am loud, constantly on the go, move. Like slowing down is something that I've been personally working on. But also, I feel like it helps me to just make sure that I'm in alignment and with the creative flow of it. So you guys are going to continue to get these episodes, and it might be me in my normal setup doing my makeup, or it might just be if it pops up like this, is because this is when I feel prompted and when I need to just get this out. I'm not sure why God is prompting me to get it out immediately instead of sitting on it, but here we go. So the past couple of days have been very interesting to me. I feel a spiritual warfare situation going on with me right now, and nothing is wrong, nothing awful has happened, I have been racking my brain as far as which direction do I go with my business and finances, because let's face it, finances are a huge chunk of our lives, right? And I know for me, just the past year, things have just been so up and down, and trying to figure out, okay, God, which direction do you want me to move in, and what should I do next? And one reason why I realized I'm so confused is because I am socially exhausted. I am socially tapped out. I have never experienced this before, because mentally I feel fine. Physically I feel fine. But just the social interaction of it all, your girl is spent. And I think it's because recently I've been using my platforms to share, to inspire, to motivate and create. That's my duty here on earth. But I think I am feeling a little bit more socially exhausted, because a lot of the things that I have been sharing recently are things that God has been putting on me to get out there. And I realize He's using me as a vessel, which is very daunting and interesting. However, I know firsthand to be obedient, because I know what'll happen if you're not obedient. And so I think because I'm being used more, it's not me, right? It's Him putting it in me, and I'm just, releasing and getting this stuff out here to you guys. And let me stop and say this. I ain't a preacher. I ain't a prophet. I'm a human. I'm just a girl out here that loves beauty, fitness, mindset, God, of course, number one. And, you know, God can use anybody in any way. Like I've said it before, God used a donkey. So I think sometimes people think you have to be like a church leader or you have to look a certain way or be perfect and cookie cutter. And I am none of those things. I am none of those things whatsoever. So just want to put that out there. But I think what's happening is because God is using me in a very specific way, it's taking more energy, it's taking more of my social battery. And so it's showing me that I need to be mindful of that. And I also need to be mindful of my peace and rest, because resting is always something that I have struggled with. Not me starting to sweat out here, Lord have mercy. Resting is something that I've always struggled with. And so with that, the overstimulation of it all, just constantly talking to people, or, you know, like just, I don't have it in me. So I'm learning that I know I require downtime, but with that, I am now requiring a lot more downtime, which is great because rest is something that I've always struggled with. And I feel like this is another way that God is forcing me to rest. So there's that. And then secondly, before my pro debut, I could feel a shift. I was like, oh, something's about to happen. I don't know what it is. I ain't going to ask no questions. We're not going to lean on my own understanding. We're just going to roll with it, right? And so in doing so, now that also explains to me why I am struggling and why things are, I can't, like, I haven't been trusting my own decision making, just simply because I realized I was holding a grudge towards myself, which is something I don't typically do. I'm not a grudge holder, but I felt like in the way that I closed my salon studio, you know, I felt like that was one reason why my husband and I struggled financially. And the thing is, that was something that needed to happen. And I'm also understanding that with me closing my salon studio, it wasn't because God wanted me to be done with being a hairstylist or working in a salon. That particular setup where I was in that space and the location, that was not where he wanted me to be. Because it's so interesting, because when I moved there, it was so smooth, it was so easy. And because it was so easy, it made me think, oh, okay, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And now that I think back on it, I didn't check in with God on that at all. At all. Like sometimes God will let you, like we have free will. And I think that's what we failed to understand. Like God gives us free will. We can do whatever we want, you know what I mean? But whenever we're not operating in his will, eventually it will start to disintegrate. And that's what happened to me. So now I'm realizing, okay, you didn't want me to just completely, it wasn't a matter of you're not supposed to be a hairstylist, you're not supposed to be working in a salon. It was, this is not how I intended things to be for you. So therefore, yes, I said I need to remove you. Yes, I told you 7 years, but the reason why I told you 7 years wasn't because you're supposed to be done completely with being a hairstylist. You're supposed to be done with it in this particular area. And so having all those revelations is like, oh my God, okay, cool. Well, I understand that, but I was very upset with myself in the way that I abruptly did it, because I feel like I mismanaged it from a financial standpoint, and because I didn't set it up properly, it caused a lot of chaos and turmoil. So therefore now I'm looking at it and I'm realizing that I need to release that. I need to let that go, and most importantly, I need to forgive myself, because first of all, it has been over a year now. Let that go. You understand, you know what you did, and you're not going to do that same thing again, right? But now moving forward, like I said, I knew before my pro debut, like the shift was coming. I didn't know what it was, but I was excited about it. And it's so interesting because I love new, and God likes new, and God knows how to get all of our attention. Like we're his child, right? And so God knew in order to get my attention, he had to strip everything away from me. He did that. Strip salon, got stripped. Okay, I was working at Macy's, that got stripped. And then just like in regards to my business and beauty industry, in regards to my business and my stage glam, you know, I got very strict directions to, I understand you want to do X, Y, and Z. However, timing is everything. I need for you to just pause. That is going to happen. But right now, I just need for you to create. And so basically I was told, it's just like, keep doing your artistry, but you need to understand that's not the bread and butter of your business. The artistry part of your business is for you, because that fulfills you. And I know right now you're thinking then this is like God talking to me. And I know right now you're questioning, like, how am I going to survive? Like, where's the income coming from? But it was very clear to me that no matter, just as long as I am operating in my purpose, which is to inspire, motivate, and create, just as long as I'm doing those three things, he's going to provide. So therefore, keep creating. And in the midst of me creating, I'm getting all of these revelations and these aha moments. Like, I have never been this in tune with God before in my life, and it's a beautiful thing. And so now I understand why he's telling me to create, and when I feel prompted to share something, I need to do it right then and there. And so I understand that because this shift is coming, the shift is going to be massive growth, and it's going to be an evolution. And also sometimes when a shift is coming, it can cause spiritual warfare, because within yourself, you're realizing that you're having to break up with your old self, break up with old ideologies, break up with how things once were. That's something that I didn't realize I struggled with, but I need to break up with how things once were, because something so much bigger and so much greater is coming. And of course we can't see it, and that's where the faith kicks in. I have no problems with faith. I'm good at believing in something without seeing it with my sight, but the trust aspect of it has always been tricky for me. So I've got the faith, and now I'm trusting, and it goes back to my devotional last week: trust, hustle, rest, repeat. That's what I've been doing. And so understanding that the reason why I'm so confused is because I'm in the midst of that shift. The shift is coming. And it's not that the shift is coming, the shift is evolving. And so if you are someone who is maybe right now going through a little bit of a spiritual warfare, or a little bit of chaos, a little bit of turmoil, and you're not sure where to go, or you know something's coming and you just don't know what, you have to find peace in the fact that whatever it is that is coming, it is going to be so much bigger and so much greater than what you could have ever imagined. Because in our minds, like, we have thoughts, ideas, and goals that we have for ourselves, not realizing at the end of the day, God has a plan, and something else that just came to me last night as I was watching another video, and I thought it was amazing. Sometimes we want things, or we have goals, and God intentionally doesn't give it to us because he knows that either one, we're not ready for it in that moment that we're asking for it, we might screw it up, or he knows that that thing that we think we want isn't good for us. And I think that's more so what's going on with me. Like, certain things that I want, certain goals that I want to achieve, God is like, no, because that could potentially wreck you. I have to protect you. And I've said it time and time again, rejection is God's protection. And so sometimes whenever rejection does happen, we tend to take it to heart, and it gets down on us, and we start questioning, and it's like, woe is me, why not me, how come I can't have X, Y, and Z, and that person has that? Well, first of all, mind your business that pays you, because what's going on in someone else's house is none of your business, and you don't know the backstory. You just know the highlight reel, what's shown on Instagram. And secondly, more than likely, it's God trying to protect you from that thing, because he knows it's not good for you. And he also knows that what he has for you is for you, and it is way greater than that thing that you think you want. So if you're someone who's maybe wrestling with a couple of thoughts, try to find peace in God knows better than you. Because a lot of times, and this is something that I'm guilty of as well, last night I was looking at myself and I said, you pompous idiot, you think that you know better than God. And in the natural, I know I don't know better. However, you have to understand, when we start going against the plan that God has put in place for us, that's what you're saying. It's like, oh no, you don't know God, like I got this. And you're not doing it intentionally, but like I always say, I can step on your foot, it be an accident, and say, so sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But just because I'm saying sorry, or just because that wasn't my intention, it doesn't take away from the fact that your foot still hurts from me stepping on it. That's what I've been doing with God. He's been showing me things, and I'm like, okay, cool. But because the things aren't happening fast enough, or because I start to operate in my scarcity mindset, because I'm a girl that always has a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. This is the first time in my life in 34 years that I do not have a plan B. And that is wild for me. I always got a plan just in case. But again, that just in case plan is me saying, all right, God, well, I heard you when you said this, but just in case, I'm gonna have this in my back pocket, you know, just in case. And again, that's a slap in the face to God, because he's already told me, showing me, spoken to me in different ways, whether it be through people or just giving me these aha moments or very specific videos popping up on my YouTube feed. Like, that stuff's not a coincidence. That's God inserting himself saying, hey, boom, you've been asking for a sign. And that's the other thing. We'll say, God, give me a sign, give me a sign. And most of the time, he be giving you the sign right there, clear as day, but you're not listening because there's so much noise. So much noise. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I hope this is helpful. Down below in the comments, let me know if you have experienced this or if you're currently experiencing it right now. Just, again, find peace in knowing that his plan is way better and bigger than yours, and he can do far more work. He can do and create things way better than you can yourself. All right, guys? So keep it simple and cast one more net. I gotta go take a shower now because your girl is sweating. All right, bye.